Hi, I'm Kay. Thank you so much for joining me for my big review for this new style by the Alexander Couture Collection by René of Paris called Roxie in the gorgeous color Cherry Merlot. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it. Before we start, I would like to say a big thank you to Adrans Trenko for sending me this piece on loan so I can review it for you. The link to this piece is down below in the description box. Don't forget to use my code K20, which will give you an amazing 20% off this already, I think, quite affordable style. Let's start with the cap construction. What we have is, it's not really a full-sized monotop, but it acts like a monotop. So it's a smaller part monotop. I think they call it a partial monofilament, but you have the ability to part it in the middle if you are a center part person, or off center, left, right, and slightly more towards the left and right. It's a great option. You have an extended lace front. You have a open wefted cap, velvet covered ear tabs, extended velvet nape with Velcro adjusters. I would, for my 21.5-inch circumference, these adjusters are too loose at this moment in time, but I will adjust them. One thing I noticed is that this is more like a lace material. This is very soft and pliable. So where you have the lace front, it's not a harsh lace front because it is that lace material. It's really soft, very pliable. But when I put it on, I will show you that there is a little bit of a caveat to it. It's a long wig. I have not combed her through, so I want to show her to you like she would be straight out of the box. I did not undo the zigzag parting either, but I just want to show it to you so you know what you can expect. So, first things first, position. 4 fingers from the bridge of your nose. This is where it should be, and that's exactly where I popped it. Then I will adjust the adjusters. It does feel too loose on my 21.5-inch circumference. So I will pop it a little bit tighter. And it feels lovely and secure now. I just want to show you Roxie from all sides. So as you can see, this is a long beachy wave type of wig. It has some layers at the front, so you have almost like a curtain bang here. But you can just move it back and it kind of disappears, but it still frames your face really beautifully. So you have these gorgeous beachy waves. Have to step away from the camera a little bit because it is quite a long piece, so I want to show it all to you. So to me, it's definitely one of those pieces that give me sea salt beach beach vibes. It's like you came out of the water, let it air dry, the salt from the sea, you know, gives it that surfer girl look. I just think it's cool, it's modern, with a hint of elegance to it. It's not too perfect, which I like. As I said, you have these kind of layers here at the front, frames the face nicely. So let's talk about that lace front. Now, in certain lights, I think that lace front is quite visible. To me, it has like almost like a milky feel to it, or a milky look to it, which can be quite obvious, I think, in certain lights. But it's so soft because it's so pliable. It kind of really sits nicely on me after I tightened it. It's something to consider that if the wig doesn't fit you properly, or you haven't tightened it or loosened it enough, the lace front might not fit nicely. So you might want to play with capsizing a little bit first before you decide if you want to take more steps. Talking about more steps, so I think if this was my piece and if I was to keep this one and wanted to wear it, I would trim this lace front back right to the hairline. Simply because, as I said in certain lights, you can see that milky quality that this has, and it will look a little bit odd. But let's look at the actual lace front itself. Little bit of knots visible. Not too bad, but they are visible. I quite like, personally, that the hairline and the part here is a little bit sparse. I just think it mimics natural hairlines better than if it was really thickly threaded and with no spaces in between, so to speak. So I personally like it. You might not, but that's just, again, a personal preference. So let's look at the part in a different place. Please bear in mind that I have dark hair underneath it. So if I wouldn't have any hair underneath it, you would see the part line much more than you do now. But even with my dark hair underneath it, I think that part line looks really natural. And gives you an idea, if you want to move this to the side, what it could look like. So you might have to add a little bit of water or a little bit of heat to move it over. So if you're like me, you're not really a middle part person, you can easily move this over. So let's talk about this beautiful color, Cherry Merlot. So it's a red color. I would say it's like a really pretty, almost Irish red. There's some very fine cherry highlights to liven it up a little bit. There is no root, which personally, it's not my favorite. I love rooted colors, especially if the actual hair color isn't quite my natural hair color. So I prefer a rooted color, so it kind of blends better with my eyebrows and my sideburns, etc. But that's a personal preference. I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous color. So here's the color outside. So hopefully that will give you a better idea of what this color looks like outside in the natural light. Indoors, I do have a ring light on and natural light coming from this window here. So let's talk about a fit. As I said, on my 21.5 inch circumference, and as you've seen, I do need to tighten it quite a little bit. So I do think it's an average plus cap size. So I have it on not quite the tightest setting. So there is about that much, so you can still tighten it. There isn't as much gapping as I would expect, which is lovely. So I think it makes this feel really comfortable to wear. So if you have a bigger circumference than mine, this will definitely fit you nicely. If you have a smaller circumference than mine, you might have to tighten it a little bit more. And as I said, there isn't that much gapping in the back. There is, obviously, but not as much. But please always check that with Adorance Trendco to ensure that it would fit you and that it would fit you comfortably. Density. Now, I think in terms of the amount of hair that's here, it's lower end of medium, I would say. I show you the ponytail. You can see there isn't a lot of hair here, but it is still a sizable ponytail. And you have some slight beachy waves in here as well, and any kind of waves and curl will obviously add to the feel that there's more hair there than there might actually be there. But I think it's still quite a natural density. You can tuck it. And it still looks really quite natural. In terms of permatease, it's definitely nothing big and pillowy. There's a really soft sprinkling of permatease. around the cap, but not big, not pillowy. It's really just, I think, there to disguise the wefts. So let's talk about the fibers. These are heat-friendly fibers. So if you feel you want to change the wave pattern, you can do that easily with heat tools. Just always check the manufacturer specification of what the temperature should be like. In terms of how it feels, they feel a little bit dry. They're not overly soft, but I think because they feel dry and because they're heat-friendly fibers, there is no real unnatural shine here. I don't personally think. It's a longer, wavy, heat-friendly wig. It will tangle. There are no two ways about it, but at the moment, I don't feel the need that I need to comb through it. However, if you go out, I would have my white tooth comb with me, just especially at the nape, to comb through every now and then to keep those tangles at bay. The other thing I do, especially if it's really hot, but I want to wear long wigs like this one. I want to avoid the tangling, especially at the nape, as much as possible, but I also want to get some air on my neck. So all I do is move all the hair to the front. So you kind of reduce the tangling here at the nape a little bit, and you also get a bit of fresh air on your neck. That's just something I do to avoid that tangling to happen. In terms of styling, so heat-friendly fibers, so you can straighten it out, you can add a different wave pattern, curl pattern to it. You can have a low pony. So again, just getting it off your neck is lovely. You can also have it in a side pony. And you can scrunch it into a bun if you wanted to. This is what I tend to do with wigs that have kind of reached the end of their life, but they're still all right at the top, to where I just put it up like this. Especially if I want to do something more active, like going swimming or something, or cycling. So that's what I do. Half up, half down. It's another option, which is cute. I wear my glasses over the ear tabs. I prefer no pressure on my glasses, so therefore I put them over the ear tabs, so it's not a problem. You can do that if you have sunglasses. You can pop them on the top like this. Because they have wefts, I can just stick them into the wefts, and then they're a little bit more secure, which is also really helpful. So I really hope you enjoyed this review of Roxie. The link to this piece is down below. Thank you to Adrian's Trendco for sending me this piece on loan. Don't forget to use my code K20. And if you have any questions, any comments, put them down below and I will do my best to answer them. Have a wonderful day, and I hope I see you very soon. Bye.